All right, we got to get to the recruiting report here before we get too far behind because I got a lot to get to. And then maybe a quick call, and then Jeff Owens is coming up. Recruiting report brought to you by Seawells. And with the fall not too far away, I know it doesn't feel like it right now, fall will be here, which means a lot of special events that needs the very best in the catering business. And Seawells, they are the folks to handle it for you at your location or at their beautiful facility on Rosewood Drive across from the fairgrounds. For more information, go to their website, SeawellsCateringSC.com, or just give Cal a phone call at 803-771-7385. And don't forget, next Tuesday through Friday, the daily luncheon buffet from 11 till 2 for only $14.50. So last night after we left you, South Carolina got a commitment from defensive end Jaquavius Dodd, 6'6", 225 of Eastside in Taylors. He's a very athletic defensive end, also plays tight end, and he's also on the basketball team, and he runs track. When South Carolina offered him several weeks ago, they immediately moved into the prime position for him. Coach Sterling Lucas has known him since well past last summer and made the official offer to him back in May. And so Dodd immediately put the Gamecocks there at the top and made his commitment last night official. He had 53 tackles and 13 sacks last season. He was scheduled to visit Virginia Tech this weekend. He chose the Gamecocks over the Hokies, Virginia, and UConn. He took officials to Virginia and UConn earlier in the month. Hammond School tight end Mike Tyler taking his fourth and final official for the month this weekend as he goes to LSU for the second time in the month. He was there for an unofficial on June 11th, and the Tigers have started to recruit him very strongly. That goes back to the spring when they came in and watched him in one of his spring practices. He's also been to West Virginia. He's been to Duke. He's been to NC State. South Carolina had been a major player. Of course, the Gamecocks have gone through 3 tight end coaches during his recruitment. And of late, Tyler said there hasn't been a whole lot of communication between him and the Gamecocks. So he's going to wait and see what happens there. He said he was a little bit surprised at the way that kind of has fallen off, but he said his family and Shane Beamer, they felt like it was best to wait to see if there's a better time to schedule an official visit. And he said there's a chance that will happen in the fall. So right now he's kind of looking at those other schools more than South Carolina. This weekend at South Carolina, the Gamecocks have the following official visits scheduled. Committed defensive tackle Caleb Williams, linebacker Donovan Darden, defensive tackle Eric Thomas, defensive end Bryce Davis, committed defensive end Anthony Addison, safety Kendall Daniels, committed receiver Jaden Sellers, committed offensive tackle Shed Surratt, quarterback Cutter Woods, committed safety DeMarcus Leach, and defensive end Zay Hardy, a former Gamecock commitment who's in junior college and might just jump back into the Gamecock class. He did take an official visit to Arkansas earlier this month. Some visits of other Gamecock targets this weekend. Cornerback Onis Konanbani to Tennessee, defensive tackle Bryce Jenkins to Tennessee, safety Lagonza Hayward to Tennessee, defensive end Jared Smith, Southern Cal, safety Jadon Blair to Penn State, offensive tackle Juan Gaston, Oregon, defensive end Isaiah Gibson, Oklahoma, offensive tackle David Sanders to Ohio State, wide receiver Winston Watkins, Ohio State, linebacker Jaden Breaker, NC State, center Isaac Souls, NC State, receiver Malik Clark, NC State, offensive tackle Jalen Gilchrist, Maryland, and I mentioned Mike Tyler, LSU, Jonte Gilbert, safety, Georgia State, cornerback Shamari Earls, a commitment to Georgia, and defensive tackle Kevin Wynn, Florida State. Clemson targets visiting this weekend. LSU, Anquan Fagan, safety. Bryce Davis, defensive end, who's at South Carolina. Receiver Samari Reed at Penn State. Offensive guard Max Buchanan at Penn State. David Sanders, Ohio State. Offensive tackle Mario Nash, Mississippi State. Linebacker Kamar Archie, Michigan. Safety Jordan Young, Michigan. Offensive tackle Hardy Watts, Michigan. Receiver Cortez Mills, LSU. cornerback Gregory Thomas, Florida State, and defensive tackle Elijah Griffin, Southern Cal. Upcoming commitment announcements: Cam Strong, the cornerback from TL Hanna, announcing tonight at 8. A.J. Brand, quarterback athlete, safety from Irmo, announces on Sunday around 1. Offensive guard Dontrell Glover, USC target, announces on Monday. Tayshawn Alston, USC target, defensive end, announces on Tuesday. Clemson target safety Anquan Fagans announces on the 29th. And Gregory Thomas, Clemson target cornerback, announces on June 30th. Keyshawn Henderson of J.O. Mann, wide receiver, announces July 4th. Jadon Blair, USC target safety, on the 5th. Isaac Souls, USC target center, on the 18th. Cortez Smith, USC target offensive tackle, on the 20th. Bryce Davis, USC Clemson target defensive end, on the 20th. And Laganza Hayward, USC target safety, on the 27th. River Bluff receiver Stephen Collier committed to East Carolina. USC offered long snapper Kyle Farrow of Heartland, Wisconsin, and that is a scholarship offer, not a PWO. USC made a PWO offer to defensive tackle Savion Drayton of Nation Ford. USC offered 2026 safety to Marion Watkins of Northwestern and 2028 defensive end Ismael Schieffer of Loganville, Georgia. And let's see if there's anything else here I want to mention. I think 2026 receiver Donovan Murph of Irmo was offered by Florida. And Tennessee transfer left-handed pitcher Wyatt Evans, who's from Greenville, J.O. Mann, committed to USC. He did not pitch this year at Tennessee. He was not on their active roster, and he missed all of 2023 with an injury. And in 2022, he pitched out of the bullpen some for the Vols. So basically, the last 2 seasons, he has not had a chance to get on the mound. So see what he can do for the Gamecocks. Okay, there you go with recruiting, brought to you by Seawells. We'll talk NASCAR with Jeff Owens coming up after the break.